Alright, so this is my second take doing this video. I'm trying to do it in just one take, so no pausing and restarting the camera. The only reason the last take I can't upload it is because I forgot to turn on the microphone, so there's no sound. But hopefully this second take will be better. So yesterday I was coming back to my place and I was looking for parking. I made a couple laps around the block and couldn't find any parking space available. So I decided to temporarily park in the alley while looking for a parking space. Then I went into my place real quick, and then I came back out. I saw a parking enforcement officer behind my car. I then just quickly get into my car and drove off, so I avoided a ticket. And then I made a couple more laps around the block. Still no parking space available until I decided to just give up and go somewhere for a while. So I do like grocery delivery, so I went to a grocery store to wait for an order, and then a $40 order popped up. I accepted that order and did that order. So I suppose problems do turn into opportunities, like I mentioned in the last video, because if I found a parking space, I wouldn't have gone out again, and I probably wouldn't have got that $40 delivery. But anyways, I came back to my place around like 9 o'clock, and finally there was parking spaces available. So I moved into a new place about beginning. I moved into a new place the beginning of this month, and it's been 2.5 weeks since I moved. When you move to a new place, you don't really get to know the problems until you move there for a while. Now that I have moved there to my new place for 2.5 weeks, I can start to understand the problem that comes with this new place and the stuff that I can tolerate and other stuff that I cannot tolerate. So the biggest issue is obviously the parking. I moved from a rural area to the city, and I obviously expected that parking is going to be a lot harder, but not this hard. So I talked to my landlord about like the parking situation, and my landlord basically said the only way to find parking is to like double park and put on the hazard light or find like a place to pull over and then wait for somebody to get into their car and leave. And when that happened, to go take the spot immediately, because when I was searching for parking going around the block, I noticed that there were also other people pulled over looking for a parking space. So it's all first come, first serve. And if I want a parking space, when someone leaves, I have to take it immediately. Also, there's no saying when someone is going to leave. It can be 1 minute, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Who knows? Just depends on the time. And I also noticed that for most of the day, it's hard to find parking. So from anywhere around like 9 in the morning to like 8 o'clock at night, something like that. Obviously, it depends on the day, but that's just like my experience right now. So going back to yesterday, I came back around like 6 o'clock and there was no parking. That kind of gives you an idea of like how bad the situation is. So beside the parking situation, so the parking situation makes me want to move, but it's not the only reason. Another reason is that, well, so for pretty much all of the place I had before this one, my landlords were pretty chill. Like my like I would rent like a room in the house, and some of the places my landlord lived there. So I would get my room, and then even though my landlord lives in the house as well, we wouldn't like talk too much. So it's basically my landlord would do their thing and I do my thing. So if I were to come home late at night, I could just go into my room and relax. But I noticed for this place, my landlord asked me for like a lot more favor than I would like. And there's like a lot of more, there's like stuff that my landlord want me to do that I find is just like something that I'm not used to. So for example, after I take a shower at my current place, my landlord wants me to take a towel and like wipe the edge of the bathtub, so basically dry the edge of the bathtub. And then I have to like hang that towel like outside in the yard afterward. While that is like not a lot of like work, it's just like I'm not used to doing that. And then that's not the only thing. My landlord also asked me to do like other stuff as well, like different stuff I need to do, regarding like cleaning and that kind of stuff. And I'm just like not used to it. In fact, it got to the point where like my landlord would tell me like, hey, I want you to do this and do that. And during the conversation, my landlord would ask me like, is this too much? So it's like both me and my landlord, like we both know it's like doing all these like things for me. It's not something that like I want to do. And it's like these things are like stuff I didn't have to worry about doing at all my previous places. So these are like the two um so it just like doesn't feel very private, especially if my landlord is always telling me to like do stuff or help with stuff. And I'm not saying I'm not willing to like help with stuff, but it's just like all the stuff that my landlord want me to do, it just feels a bit much. So this makes me want to move out. While none of these issues are like super big, like I have to move out today right now, I have a feeling like I'm going to be moving out sooner than later. And even my landlord knows, like we were having a conversation and I can just feel like there's some tension in there. Like both me and my landlord know, like, yeah, I'm not going to be living here for much longer. I'm going to be moving out sooner than later. So the thing is me and the thing is I do have a 3 months lease with my landlord at this place. So for June, July, and August. So technically, according to the contract, I'm obligated to pay 3 months of rent until late until August 31st or September 1st. That's the soonest I can move out. And if I want to move out then I will give a notice on July 31st or August 1st. The thing I've been thinking about is that since me and my landlord both know that like, this place is not going to work for me long term and I'm going to want to move sooner than later, I was thinking to just go ahead and tell my landlord like today or as soon as possible that I'm going to be moving out and see what my landlord say. Like who knows, maybe my landlord would be okay with me moving out early. Perhaps I tell my landlord today I'm going to move out and it's like a 30-day notice from today. So I'll move out 30 days from today. The rent for next month is prorated and that's how that's one possibility. The thing is I do have to find a new place first. So right now I've been looking online for places to rent, but I haven't contacted any landlord yet because technically I haven't technically I haven't let my current landlord that I'm moving, and the soonest I can move for now is August 31st, which is over 2 months away. But I was thinking if I tell my current landlord that I want to move out sooner than later, and if my current landlord is okay with it, then I will go ahead and start calling up landlord looking for a new place in order to move out in a month from today if I do give a notice today. Or another possibility can be that so if I do give my notice today, my current landlord is going to start looking for a new tenant, so putting up ads and waiting for people to reach out. If I were to find like a new place sooner, maybe before July, perhaps if my current landlord can also find a new tenant before July, that way it's like my current landlord has a tenant lined up for July, and I have a new place lined up for July as well. Perhaps then I can move on July 1st to the new place, and then my current landlord will have somebody to take over. That way my current landlord doesn't lose out on any rent. So that's been going through my mind. But another thing is that I originally moved from like a rural area to the city because I wanted to, well, first off, meet new people, make more connection, and I have done so. I've met some new people, and then they will introduce me to people they know as well, and I've met up with a few people, so that's good for me. Another thing is that since I do like delivery jobs, there's a lot more jobs out here than in like a more rural area or like the suburb, and I've been able to do more deliveries out here, so another that's also a success. So I did like I did technically accomplish what I set out to do, but it's just I don't think I can live at this place like long term. And I even just thought about how about just waiting till the end of July to give notice, because it's like just stay at my current place for now while I do the deliveries and also meet new people, because I find that it's those two things are better in the city than a rural area. So then I feel like my new place will have to also be in the city, but just hopefully with a landlord that's a little bit more chill and more like hands off as far as like um between me and the landlord. Obviously, I want to respect the place and everything, but I just would prefer a little bit more like hands off, a little bit more privacy and freedom. So that's just kind of what I'm thinking about. It's more comfortable just to stay until the end of the lease, for sure. But at the same time, it's like but at the same time, it's like if I'm going to move out anyways, it's like I can suffer right now or suffer later, right? So I can possibly move out sooner or later, and there might be some. And I've already looked into like places for rent. There's some like potentially good places out there, so I might want to hop on that opportunities. And if I want to do that, I'm going to have to tell my current landlord that I want to move out and see what my current landlord says. See what my current landlord says. Maybe my current landlord would approve it, maybe not. But it's like if I don't ask, the answer is a no. And it's obviously, and it's less comfortable to ask to move out right now than than July 31st, because technically I'm going against the contract, and then my current landlord might not be very happy about that. But at the same time, it's like we both know I'm not going to be a long-term tenant, so in a way, my current landlord might be happy to just get this over with sooner than later. Perhaps find a tenant that's more fitting for the place. So that's just some updates regarding my housing situation. I appreciate all of you that watch my videos and those of you that follow along. I want to just try to do videos like this going forward, like making videos in one take. So instead of like starting the camera and stopping it and starting the camera and stopping it again, just doing this in one take, because it seems like it's more authentic. It's like talking to somebody. When you talk to somebody, it's it's more like in one. It feels more genuinely just to do it in one take. That's what I'm saying, rather than like starting the camera, stopping the camera, and then like cutting up the video, which is like what I have been doing. So let me know if you all would prefer this, like me making the videos in one take, but obviously there's going to be more like stutters and stuff like that because I'm not going to be cutting that out? Or would you prefer like my previous video where I do the videos in multiple takes and then cut out like the stutters and stuff, but then it will seem less authentic, like more robotic? So just like let me know what you all think. Again, thank you for watching. And right now I do offer a free 30-minute. Right now I do offer a free 30-minute coaching. Link is down in the description below, and I'll see you all in the next one.